My name is Mackenzie, and my grandpa Lloyd Keaton suffered with Alzheimer's for 7 years before he passed away 6 months ago. It was small things at first. He was just like forgetting, just like little tidbits and asking questions over and over again. One of the major events to show that he was starting to decline in any way was he was on the ladder, like working on the gutter. And he just, out of nowhere, like nothing happened, he just fell off. And we were kind of like, it seems normal, but for him that wasn't really a normal thing. Like he was very centered. That's when we went to go get him checked out, and that's when we learned that, he had the start of Alzheimer's. And, my family didn't know much about what Alzheimer's was or what to expect from it. I didn't know that Alzheimer's was, an all-encompassing thing. I didn't know that it was going to affect his entire body, until it did. The summer before my sophomore year of college, he got an infection, and around the fall time, he was in the hospital he had another infection, and I still didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, like he's sick again. It's fine, he'll be out in a little bit. And my parents, I just didn't know to the extent of how bad it was. But he got C. diff, which is a colon infection, and it just got to the point where his body didn't know how to fight it off anymore. So he was in the hospital, and he, this is around the point when it was really bad, and he could barely eat, he couldn't walk, he couldn't go to the bathroom, he was constantly messing himself, and it's just sad to see someone you love go through that. But, his body just couldn't take it anymore, and I remember getting a call from my parents telling me that, like, it was worse than what we had thought, and that we didn't think we had much time with him left. So after the first night that we moved him into hospice, the next day I had to go back to school. So I, went up early with my dad and my brother to go see him, and we just spent, a couple hours with him, just sitting with him. He didn't really speak much. We were just sitting there, and then the time came when I had to get back to school, and I had to leave. And I knew that was going to be the last time I saw him alive. So when I just told him I loved him, and that, if he was ready to go, it was okay, and that we understood. So I just sat with him, and I just told him I loved him, and that I just held his hand and, kissed his cheek, and I just told him it was okay, and that I loved him, and that I'd see him again soon. So, everyone came back in, and I just started saying my goodbyes, and, one last time I walked up to him, and I said, I love you. I said, Grandpa, I love you so much. And I didn't hear anything back, so I started to walk away, and then my grandma was like, she was like, Mackenzie, did you hear that? And I was like, no, what? And then I turned to him, and he goes, I love you so much. And I knew that was going to be the last thing I ever heard him say. My mom told me he went as good as he could. He went in peace, and my whole family was there. So, I knew that he went, with his family around him. I feel like that's all he could have ever asked for, because he loved his family so much. After my grandpa passed away, it was really nice to be able to grieve with my entire family, because I have such a big family. So it actually helped to grieve, just, talking about past memories of before he had Alzheimer's, even memories when he did have Alzheimer's, just anything that made us laugh and made us, think that, this is what made my grandpa, like all of his good qualities, everything about him, he was a wonderful man. So it just really helped to be able to, be with my family and just talk about everything with them. After Christmas, I was home for a couple of days, and my cousin and my aunt stopped by, and they had told us that they went to go see a medium because they were hoping that they could get in touch with my grandpa. And he came through, and it was really great to hear about, just, he came through, and so did my great grandma and my uncle, and and the medium was saying that they were all sitting around a table together, playing chess, just having a great time. And he just came through and said, just tell Betty Jane that I love her, and that I'm really glad that she's going out and doing things and isn't just sitting at home, mourning me or just being sad. I'm glad that she's going out and she's living a normal life and just having fun, because that's all that he ever wanted. But then he also came through and was talking about nickels, and he said, if you ever find a nickel, it's from me. And he's like, people put pennies on headstones, but I'm gonna give you nickels, because I'm as tough as a nickel. So if you find a nickel, know it's from me. Anytime that you find a nickel, it's from me, because I'm as tough as a nickel.